This one should come out next week.
Next week, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Cause you got two. I know you got the It's one that's more sports based though, right?
Yeah, in season.
Yeah, yeah.
And then this joint. Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm with it though.
Yeah.
I need headphones, anything?
Yeah. If I play some music or something, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can hear it.
You got the new mark on deck, all right?
Yeah. No, the DJ snobs been getting at me. They're like, oh yeah. They've been little bruhing me, you know.
I mean, as long as it works. At this point, they've been in the club with iPads, so it's like
right.
Yeah, it don't mean nothing to me now. I'm like,
we'll get into all of it. Hopefully, yeah. Let me let me know when we get started.
We're rolling.
Oh, dope. Oh, we rolling. All right,
let's do it.
We got the one and only DJ R-Tistic in the building. This is not him on the ones and twos. Don't judge the DJ skills, you know what I'm saying?
Got a little scratch going, little baby scratch on deck though. Yeah.
I don't know where to find the part to scratch.
The kick. Find the kick.
The kick? Okay.
Run it back. Hit the Q button.
Okay.
A little kick. Yeah.
So wait.
Easy. Find the very first, Yeah. I'm gonna give you like 2 weeks or something. You know, you'll get it soon though. Yeah.
I don't really have a lot of time to be practicing. It's a long life thing. Like I've always wanted to be a DJ.
Yeah.
But I've never I saved up for one turntable, and then I had a mixer that my cousin gave me.
Okay.
And then but then I never saved up enough to get the second turntable.
I had one because I used to produce back in high school, so I just had one just so I could scratch on, but I ain't get two till probably like 07.
Okay.
Yeah.
When what made you want to DJ?
So for me, I used to be a producer. I was making beats going back to like elementary, middle school, and then when I was in high school, I bought a turntable, like I just said, just to like scratch on top of my productions.
Yeah.
Then I was at FAMU, and then at first I wasn't trying to be a DJ. I didn't really want to be a DJ because I didn't feel like I never wanted to cater to a crowd. Like I was kind of a slight music snob back then. Like I didn't like commercial shit. I didn't care for like the radio music as much. So it was more so I was from LA, but I was at FAMU. So you didn't really hear no West Coast music back then in like 05, 06, 07. That was like the LA drought.
Outside of the hyphy stuff
hyphy
that
was
we
the
got?
That was the Bay.
Right. But at that time, I can't really tell you. Maybe One Blood by The Game.
The Game was big. Snoop was still big.
Yeah.
Q got playing in LA, but in the South, you didn't really hear nothing LA.
No, we didn't get a lot of LA really until maybe the Cali swag district.
Yeah, Jerkin era.
Yeah.
The New Boys and then
New Boys. Yeah.
Then there was Dom Kennedy and Nipsey and Kendrick, TDE.
Right.
That whole wave came 2010, 2011. YG, of course. So.
But a lot of that in the blog era, you wouldn't hear out.
Yeah, it wasn't really club music. That's true.
You know, like if you go see Dom Kennedy, then you wouldn't hear Dom until he got on stage. But that's real. So you was in FAM at that time, and then you started DJing. So did you cause when the Georgia Bulldogs won the national championship, I got some people to come through to your night at the Dime.
Okay, I can't remember that too.
And you were going off.
Yeah,
and I was telling people about you. I was like, this one of the best DJs. He's cold. I'm telling you.
I appreciate that.
And so you were going off, and I feel like when you get in your Southern bag, it's like okay, you can only spend some time in the South to hit some of them. Things. Yeah,
like that Patrick Troy type stuff. Like a lot of those songs, you had to be there to actually hear it because that wasn't really on BET as much. You heard like drama left, right, left. You heard Miracle Bounce, those type, and then Lil Jon. Certain songs you had to be like, even DJ Yola, like you weren't gonna hear that on BET Rap City or 106 in Park. That was just you had to be in the South at the time to know what it was.
And we know every word.
Yeah, exactly.
In Atlanta, when that DJ Yola plays,
exactly,
that separates the AT aliens from the not.
Exactly.
You know?
Every time too.
I first got to know about you from Clubhouse, but then also you do these things where these are all the songs that came out in 1995. These are the what made you want to organize, create these time capsules of music?
I've always kind of been that way. Like in my head, I always kind of think about certain years. So like the first mix I ever made that was based off of a year was in 2013. I made one that was called 95 for 95, and it was basically like 95 songs from 1995.
Okay.
So from there, people was like, oh, you should do one for 96. I did 96 next.
Mm-hmm.
Then I made 94. So I started doing it for each year just as far as full mixes. But those were like full hour-long mixes on SoundCloud, Mixcloud.
Yeah.
And then it turned into, the first time I did a quick mix version of that, I'm trying to think of when it was. I know I did one for the New Jack Swing era. That was like early 2018.
Okay.
Then I had a whole concept where I was like, all right, every day for 2 weeks, I'm going to drop one for every year in the 90s. So I'm going to do, on Monday is 90, Tuesday is 91, all the way up to 99. So each one was just like 25 songs from each of those years. So
that's crazy. Are you looking up songs? Are you looking up like when stuff dropped and like, okay, this actually came out the week after New Year's?
It's like, because for me, I started listening to music, the heaviest really around 93, and I was a kid. I was probably like third grade, fourth grade, whatever it was. But it was where anything from that point up, I can remember almost every song, every year that it came out. Like, if not the exact year, at least like between these 2 years. But everything from 90 to 92, I had to kind of, I knew the main songs. I remember like hearing Humpy Dance in 1990. I remember hearing like I Want to Sex You Up between 90 and 91. But it was certain songs I had to kind of dig and research, looking at the Billboard charts from that year and talking to the older homies to see like when did this song come out and what was y'all playing in 92.
Because like when you go back and look a lot, okay, so like albums came out, but like artists back then would take 2-3 year breaks. You know, like you look at a Janet Jackson album, she's put out 5-6 singles that span over 2-3 years. 92,
94, yeah. It used to always happen. It gets tricky with that too, because sometimes I'll put usually I base it off the year that the single came out. Because even like with like SWV Week, the album dropped in 92, but the single was 93. Yeah. So a lot of songs, it's like the album might have dropped in 92, but the single didn't drop to 93, 94. So usually I'll put it on based off of like the year that it dropped as a single, but it can kind of work either way.
Yeah. Well, like I think with SWV, some of them singles by the time they came out, they were different. You know,
they're remixed it too sometimes. Yeah,
if you playing the Anything remix, then
that was 94.
Yeah, that's different. And Wu-Tang's got to come out. They come out late 93.
Exactly.
Yeah. Same with like Michael Jackson, Dangerous. Keep him in the closet. That might be 92. That might be 92, 93. But Dangerous came out in 91.
Exactly. Remember the time that video dropped in 92?
Right.
On NBC. It was an NBC premiere or something like that.
Man, it was I think, BT, MTV, and like maybe Fox, something like that. Yeah.
Fox, probably Fox, one of them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're it would hype it up like it was a TV show, like 8 p.m. Tuesday.
It was an event.
It was though. Yeah.
My little kid brain, I didn't know that many people. But I knew who Eddie Murphy was, and I knew who Magic Johnson was.
Yeah. I didn't know Iman back then.
I didn't know Iman at all. And now, like now that I'm older and watch more docs and stuff, and she's popped up, it's like, okay, how did y'all find this kid? First of all, she was a supermodel in the 70s. You just found her in Africa, and then she started on the runway. That's nuts. You know, now the more I know about David Bowie, you know what I'm saying? Iman was Iman in 92, but I had no clue.
Exactly. Same for me.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Mm-hmm. And somehow I knew a concept of ancient Egypt. I don't know why I knew that. Maybe like Muppet Babies or something. But I don't know why. I don't know why the whole thing. Like I was like, I get all of this. You know,
it made sense. I was
so young.
Yeah. Legendary moment for real. At that time, we all thought Magic would have been dead by now. That's the crazy part, because that was 92. So that's when everybody was hyped to see him. It's like he's still here with us. We got a couple more months with him, maybe a couple years.
It's 91. I open up a pack of cards. A Magic Johnson card is in there. My dad grabs it, just like puts it away somewhere. We have not found it. I don't know where it is, but somewhere there is a like 91, 92 Magic Johnson.
Was it Flair or Hoops or something like that? Skybox.
We might have been Tops. I feel like I feel like we didn't. I don't know. I was too young to know what the good cards were then. I
remember Skybox was fired that year with the white background.
So, like, what's the first song that you can remember?
Just as in general period?
Just in general period in life. Like, what is the first song, like first new song
Probably, I don't know when it came out, but it sounds wild, but probably Don't Worry, Be Happy.
Really?
And like, I don't know like how I found it as a kid.
Yeah.
My dad told me one time we were driving from, I guess he had a concert or something that he did in like Newport Beach, and he told me he drove from Newport Beach to Inglewood. I may have played that on repeat the entire time.
Yeah.
The whole trip. That's probably at least 45 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Were you upset with Chuck D? When like Chuck D said, "Don't worry, be happy" was the #1 jam. Man, if I said you could slap me right here. You're like, oh, come on, man.
I was too young to
my intro to music, dog.
By the time I heard the Chuck D verse, I was just laughing at it because I don't play it no more, of course. I never played it.
Right.
It's probably on my laptop somewhere, but yeah. Chuck D was probably just angry at the time, you know.
Right. What did Bobby McFerrin do to you?
He ain't hurt nobody. He ain't hurt nobody at all, yeah.
Right. How are you holding up with everything going on now? Like are there certain things that are affected by, the election and everything? Are there certain songs that you're like, all right, I can't play these songs anymore?
Not really. I mean, the thing about the election, like everybody is definitely down from it right now, and I'm still gonna play FDT all the time. Like I'm gonna play that as just a regular club staple for us. What's crazy is that I feel like just social media-wise, I've seen more support for Trump this time than I did the last 2 times he ran. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's just from Elon pushing the algorithm on Twitter, which I'm never going to call X, but even people who I don't know people personally who go for Trump, but people who I know are real people online have just said stuff that even if it's not pro-Trump, it's still too neutral for me.
Right.
Or it's still too much in the middle, or they're still defending him and talking about how the Democrats didn't do this and that. I'm like, it don't matter what they did. Like, Trump fans are that delusional, so...
No, it's really nuts because somebody like him.
Yeah.
Somebody gotta like him.
Too many people like him, yeah. Too many of them do.
Yeah, no, he went crazy. But like, I couldn't. I feel like if somebody played this song, I'd be pissed.
Which one is it? Whose song was that? Ray Shremmer? I remember that.
Yeah.
They made that before he ran, right?
Yeah.
2014.
Before the escalator. This a pre-escalator. This the last one at the buzzer.
I forgot about that song. Yeah.
Bill Gates, Donald Trump, let me in now. You know what I'm saying?
Like, Trump was mentioned so many times back in the 90s. Mm-hmm. Trump changed. Like, it was so many songs about Trump. And
right.
He and Bobby Brown video on our own video.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, is he in Ghostbusters too?
I don't know if he's in the movie. He probably was.
Bobby Brown definitely is.
Bobby Brown,
and they on the billboards in New York.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a very like New York video. Dougie Fresh is there for some reason.
Yeah,
I don't know what he had to do with On Our Own, but who knows?
It's in there, just cameos. Yeah, so I feel like it's as far as that. Like if I play country grammar, like I would probably forget about that line until it comes up, but. The crowd probably just gonna sing it just because it's a lyric, but I'll probably talk over it or something. I'll probably just say something. I might say Mark Zuckerberg instead. His name's a little bit too long to fit in that pocket, but something just to replace his name.
Yeah. Do you do that? Do you punch in like your own like different stuff?
I do because that's a Florida technique. Like that's something that they do in Florida all the time. Like I do it with
like the Kodak Black video. Get him Black.
Yeah. It's like just something. So even like on Shorty Low, they know. It's like. I always said, like Jordan, I believe I could flizz because FKLs, so.
Oh, yeah.
That type deal, so.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it's a lot of small stuff. I was just saying, the crowd don't really catch it unless they know me or unless they're paying attention. It's like, all right, like, a lot of little stuff like that.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in L.A., so basically, I was born in Inglewood, then grew up in Gardena, been in South Central for about 14 years now.
Okay.
So basically just all around, like Gardena was Crenshaw, Rosecrans, Inglewood was like Fairview, La Brea.
All right.
Now I'm South Central, Western, and Florence. So I've only lived in Florida aside from L.A.
Okay. I have cousins in Gardena. That's where I stayed when I first got out here.
Oh, for real? Yeah.
Yeah.
They're probably, I'm guessing, off 135th, 139th, Van Ness, El Segundo.
Like 125th. In Western.
Okay, that's right where it. Yeah, Western basically once you cross El Segundo is Gardena. So north of El Segundo is basically L.A. still like because 125th is right by 126. That's where Friday was filmed at.
Yeah.
Either 126 or 124th, but Friday was filmed right there. So it's all the same area.
Maybe it is 126. It's right there.
Yeah. Like a block or two over.
We've seen some TMZ buses come through.
Yeah.
Like, this is where they shot Friday.
It's right there.
Like, that's crazy.
The golf course is right there across Western. Yeah.
I used to walk to that Food for Less and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
I was coming out here from New York, so I was like, yo, I gotta walk somewhere, and then I was like, man, I gotta get my whip out here.
Over there, it's a little bit too spread out. Over there is not dangerous. Like, you safe enough.
No,
nowadays it is. Especially,
it's just not designed to be a pedestrian.
It's not at all. It's not walkable at all.
It didn't. I didn't feel like danger. I was in a strange place. I was in a place that I didn't know.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
I did not wear hats. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's still like it's technically Crip territory, but it's not like. It's not the 90s where you walk through and it's going to be like, hey, homie, what's up? You know, like every block is different. It might be at one house where it's the hood dudes outside. But,
sure, but I don't know which house that is.
Yeah.
I'm not from here.
That means it wasn't one.
Yeah.
If it was a house, you would see it every day and you would avoid it. Like,
got you.
That's that one house there on the porch the whole day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I do know that, like, when I got in the Uber, I felt dangerous. Like,
really?
The Uber drivers were real nervous picking me up. And it's
I get you.
I'm just going to work. But hey, can you get on the other side? Can you get, yeah.
Oh, for real?
This one lady, like rolled the window down, like, real sure, like, made me, say my name and everything before she unlocked the door. I'm like, yo, I'm not.
She's trying to be, is she cautious?
I'm not trying to do nothing to nobody. I'm just trying to go to work. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like even when Uber first started coming to our neighborhood, people was always cautious. Even a couple months ago, I was trying to drop off, they have Uber like courier where basically you can send equipment or whatever you have, a package.
Yeah.
I use
Uber
that.
Parcel.
I put over. I had a big turntable case, whatever. I'm walking toward the Uber. He just drove off. We were on Crenshaw and like 39th, and he just drove off on me. And I'm like, I don't know if he thought I'm trying to make a drug delivery or what.
So wait, why you deliver equipment and then meet the equipment where you?
No, everything is different. So basically, in that case, I think I was sending it to let somebody else borrow it.
Okay.
Or something like that. But sometimes, say if I have a gig that's 10 to 2, but I can't get there until midnight, I might just send it early just so somebody else can set it up for me at 9:30. Then I'll get there at midnight. So usually stuff like that.
That's playering. So you got other people that like set up your stuff for you sometimes?
I mean, usually I have a sound man for most of my events that need like a full system. Like,
okay.
I can't set up stuff no more.
Sound
I
man?
used to.
Ooh.
I got to now. That's the worst part because you got to get there an hour early or an hour and a half early, then you stay in an hour late. Like, that's the worst part, setting up.
So you done with
cables. That? I'm retired from that part of it.
Okay. All right.
I can't do it.
See, that's what I needed. I needed to be someone's sound man and learn how to DJ before I started buying equipment, not just jump into the equipment.
It's different
not
nowadays.
Even know if I could do it. You know what I'm saying? Not even know if I wanted to do it.
I get you. It's different. A lot of DJs nowadays a lot of ones who started post-pandemic don't even have speakers at all. A lot of them never have. It's just that they do lounges and clubs, and it's an easier way to get in the club nowadays. Like 20 years ago, you couldn't just walk into the club like, I'm a new DJ and here's my Instagram, hire me. So it's different now. Like everybody I know in the 2000s had equipment at least.
So like, where did you start when you started spinning? You started spinning with CDs.
I was on vinyl, so it was like 2007. But it was vinyl, and then it was that transition between vinyl and Serato. So in the South, they were all on CDJs. In LA, they were still on vinyl for the most part. So I remember my first time seeing Serato was 2006. I was right here on Sunset, actually, low key across the street, I think, or down the street. It was called the Wet Lounge, and then it became Libertine. But it was within like 30 feet of here, probably.
Okay.
I was there 2006 one time, and I was just watching because I saw him scratching and all that. So I was like, oh, he got records. But he had a laptop with a whole grip of songs on it, and I'm just looking, and I'm like, all right, so he's scratching records. And after 10 minutes, I'm like, he ain't changed the record yet. And I'm looking like, but he's playing songs from a laptop, and I'm like, I'm looking at the connection, like, oh, he's scratching the songs from the laptop. And I was confused, but I was like, all right, it makes sense now. So when I first got turntables, I still bought a whole grip of records. I had some anyway, but I bought like 100 records, so I would still be using records and using the laptop at the same time. Yeah.
What records did you get?
It was 07. So I remember I had a DJ Yola. I had like Trina and Wayne, Don't Trip. I had Nuck If You Buck.
Okay.
I had Everything Yin Yang Twins, the Wait Whisper song. I had Boom. What was it? I ain't had that on vinyl. I had the one with them in Bedroom Boom with Avant.
Okay.
I had the Snoop songs. I had like what was it from Snoop from 05, like 06. That's that shit with R. Kelly, those type songs.
Yeah,
so,
Blue Carpet Treatment.
Yeah, exactly, from that album. So I had all those back then.
Okay. Were you getting like singles?
Singles mainly, but I would get the albums because the albums are harder to find the song on. You have to like search through, all right, and read the line. All right, it's probably the fourth one on here. But
right.
usually I'll get the single. The single just made more sense. And the single would have the cling, the dirty, the radio, the instrumental acapella sometimes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'll get them mainly from Amoeba. Amoeba had them for $1 and $2 back then because vinyl was really on its way out, so you can catch stuff for cheap.
Right. No, Peppermint Music in Atlanta used to have singles for like $1, $2.
Okay.
Yeah. Greenbrier Mall.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's where all the like in stores used to be. That's where like we had like the Djing Twins autograph poster. And
that's how it was back in that era. And like Tower Records right here was that spot for us on this side of town, and for like Inglewood, LA, it was more so the Blockbuster Music and Warehouse, which was in Ladera Center.
Okay. Yeah. And then I remember I went to Peppermint one time, and I wanted the basement in our house to look like the Rap City basement. So I was like, any promo posters that you got like that y'all not using anymore,
for sure. Yeah.
let me get. And so then I had like a Busta Rhymes Anarchy poster.
Okay.
Rough Riders Volume 2.
Volume 2, okay. Yeah.
But it was like
that's World War III. Was that Volume 2? World War III with
it was like a
Snoop
big Rough Riders R, and then it was like a 2, like it was, you know,
that was
to the second part.
Maybe.
Yeah. What else did I have? I feel like we had another one. I know we had like a giant Brooke Valentine poster.
Girl fight.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah.
Of course. What else would it be? You know what I mean? But those are some good times, man.
That was the era. You just having it physically, just being able to buy it and walk out the store with it and read the liner notes.
Because Walmart didn't have posters of any, like they only had Eminem and like other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Backstreet Boys,
you had to be
NSYNC,
huge.
Yeah.
You had to be pushing millions of records to get a poster in Walmart.
To be a rapper, yeah.
Yeah.
DMX, maybe he might have had one. I don't even know.
Maybe there might have been a DMX.
But there's more so Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears. And,
but then in Atlanta, like you see, you know, there's a Lil Jon poster on every light post.
You know what I'm saying?
Like a lot of the like street promotion and stuff, and it's like, man, I just want a clean. You know what I'm saying? I can't take it off the light post and put it up, but I just want a clean.
That's true. Finding posters was not easy because it was like certain records would come with the little photo. So I have some on my wall from Nas and Timbaland and all them, but to get the actual posters, it had to be from like the record store. Usually it would be from like Warehouse, or I think Sam Goody would sell some sometimes back then. I think they had a wall that would have posters, and you pick like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 type.
Oh
deal.
Yeah,
I think that's where I remember getting them from.
No, I feel like we used to have like FYE.
I remember them too.
Yeah, and they would have a bunch of joints like if you wanted, you know, like a TLC or Usher, something like that. Yeah. And then of course my sister would get a Word Up
magazine. The magazines would have them too. The magazine would have that inside the halfway inside the magazine.
Right. I was obsessed with the movie Juice. Yeah. When I saw that, I was like, I'm gonna be Q. Like
that's probably one of the first movies that made everybody want to be a DJ.
Yeah.
I didn't see it till way later too. I know that was.
No, I saw Juice on cable.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah. Well, by the time I saw Juice, it was edited and cut down.
Yeah, clean version.
Yeah.
Shut the front up. Like, that type of stuff. Yeah. Little voiceovers on it.
Yeah.
Okay. I hear it.
I should have told you to prepare some jokes, and then that way, you know what I'm saying, when I try to do some DJ stuff, then it's like the judgment that I feel, I can return it. You know what I mean?
I got you. I mean, off the fly, let's run it. Yeah. Let's run it. But
what's your favorite color? Sky.
You said sky?
Yeah.
Like the sky up in the sky?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, straight blue, but a little bit of some haze. Just a little bit of some, you know, like not the most perfectly clear day, but just a little bit of some clouds. In the way. Yeah. It's probably the best way to me.
Dope. Yeah. A very, very LA answer.
It probably is, because that's how it is for us in the summertime. Even today is kind of a clear day.
Y'all have it's a lot of clear days out here.
Minus the smog. The smog is always in the way. Like a lot of times, like depending on how far you are from downtown, On certain days, you can see downtown just perfectly clear, but usually it's a little bit of a haze, a little bit of some smog in front of it.
Right. That is true. That is true.
We just used to it now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How'd you come up with the name R-Tistic?
I can't tell you how exactly. I know that. So I used to rap before I was straight producing. I used to rap. So I had like 5 different rap names back when I was a kid. I had RMC when I first started.
RMC?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had Flow. I had a couple other names. I had Camouflage for a quick second, but then it was like 99, 2000. I remember I was trying to find a name that had R in it because my real name is Ron, but
okay.
I couldn't. I don't know how it happened. I remember going through the dictionary trying to find something with the letter R and nothing was hitting. But it was somewhere around like 10th grade. It just hit me. I don't know how it did, but I didn't add DJ to it until like 07, 08. That's that's when I started DJing. So even when I started DJing, I didn't like having DJ in front of it, but I had to just so people knew I was a DJ.
Right.
But nowadays, a lot of DJs don't have it in front, so it could have worked.
Was your Facebook name DJ R-Tistic?
It was always like Ronald then R-Tistic Turner.
Okay.
But it would be like in the middle of
in the single quotes.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
You know how it was. So I had to figure out how to fit it in, and I think at one point they wouldn't allow a hyphen. It was just like an apostrophe. Mm-hmm. Then that threw me off because then a lot of flyers people would spell my name with an apostrophe and not the hyphen.
Okay.
Because people who didn't know how it was really spelled would spell it that way. So I don't know what year Facebook allowed to dash, but then they allowed that finally, and I was good.
Yeah. No, I had when I first started comedy, my Facebook wasn't under my stage name because I started my Facebook before I started comedy.
Okay.
But then people would put my real name on flyers, and then
Same
it was just
thing,
like,
man,
well, now I have to make my Facebook name my stage name, you know?
Oh, I got you. What's your real last name?
Haze.
So Haze is your real last name?
Yeah.
It's spelled that way too?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hayes.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But it could be Hays. It could be like there's many ways to spell it. But yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. My grandma's last name is Hayes. Her maiden name. So
get out of here.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So they from North Florida. So we might be like 8th cousins or something like
that. Yeah. I don't know if I have too many Florida people. I feel like we lived in Florida. We were the Florida people for a second, but I don't know if there's too many Hazes in Florida. Yeah.
Okay.
On our side.
It's an NBA player, Killian Hayes. You heard of him?
Mm-hmm.
With the Pistons. So he's one of my cousins.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I used to lie and say Jackson Hayes was my cousin, but after last week, I'm done doing that.
I can't do that. I don't know him no more. Yeah. It's on him though.
Hey man, I was just playing when I said that. Y'all know that ain't my cousin.
Yeah. That's not my bloodline right there.
Also, the reporter that Joel Embiid pushed, Marcus Hayes.
I didn't see it. I heard about that though.
I don't think it was. I don't think it's. There might be a video of it, but I don't know. Yeah. Basically, he wrote some wild stuff about Joel Embiid, and then and then went up to him, and then
was it like an obvious like push to get on my face, or was it kind of like a slick like?
I think it was like when I see you, it's on, and I think that I think Marcus Hayes was like, I'm gonna apologize to your face type of thing, but like if when I sees you, it's on, then
it's on.
It's got to be on.
That's it. You can't take that back.
Yeah, and if they 7 foot, you know what I'm saying, you gonna feel a flick.
You gonna feel that one.
You gonna feel whatever they decide to bring. Yeah, you gonna feel like we used to clown Shaq for like opening his hand in that fight and slapping dude, and like now that I'm older, I'm like, Shaq wasn't trying to go to jail. You know what I'm saying?
They charged him with a felony or assault or something for that. Yeah,
a closed fist. Shaq can't do a closed fist.
350 pounds at that time too.
Right,
right. That's a KO.
Like when Barkley slammed him, it's like, Shaq can't slam him back.
Barkley was strong though.
Barkley was strong. Most people can't pick Shaq up. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy to think.
He got him down. And I feel like that was Barkley's last year. I feel like he called TNT after that fight.
Oh, probably. So. It was with the Rockets though, low key.
I feel like he was like, hey man, hey, my back is shot. I gotta get out
of here. Pull a muscle or something.
Right.
That was like 98 or something. 98, 99. 99.
Yeah, 98 in there somewhere for sure. Yeah. What do you have a squad? Who's your squad?
As far as basketball?
Everything.
Well, definitely Lakers all day.
Okay.
Born and raised Lakers. For football, it's still Raiders, even though it's tough to be a Raiders fan. But
I'm a Raiders fan.
Okay.
Yeah. We're actually 2 for 2 right now.
Okay. Yeah. Of course, it's LA, so Dodgers. So you Braves, I'm already knowing.
Yeah.
Y'all had your runs, So whenever y'all good, we not as good, and vice versa. So
the Dodgers, y'all fans gotta chill.
Why?
Why are they blowing up stuff?
I mean, that's a whole different type of fan, though.
Well, they blowing up their hands. Yeah. They blowing up buses like that.
They're doing the most. I'm gonna type that's gonna cheer. I might toast with somebody at the club, but I'm not about to.
Y'all been good too long to act like that. It was people acting like y'all ain't never been good.
We ain't had a parade since '88.
But they did have the fireworks already.
They
already was in the street.
They gonna do that all the time.
I was here 2020.
Yeah.
Like, yes, there wasn't a parade. But they didn't wait till the parade. They was outside immediately shooting fireworks.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all just did that 4 years ago.
It wasn't the same. We had masks on, and we had to separate a little bit.
Yeah.
It wasn't the mass celebration the same way. But
I mean, it was like Lakers and Dodgers back-to-back in 2020.
Yeah, it was. We drove around. It was like a COVID safe type deal. I mean, people were still outside, but I was just driving around in the car honking.
The Lakers still owe the parade. They don't have
the whole team gone now except for AD and LeBron. The whole team was gone by 2022. So even that next season, it wouldn't even work because it was like a whole new squad.
KCP in Orlando.
Yeah, the whole squad's a wrap.
Kuz in Washington. Howard in
Dwight.
China. Yeah.
The team is a wrap now. So it's different.
Frank Vogel. I don't know where Frank Vogel is.
Is he still coaching? Yeah.
Yeah, he might be an assistant somewhere. I feel like he got a gig. Yeah.
That's probably about it. Yeah, the whole team is different because they should have kept that squad, but, I don't know what they called themselves getting better or just trying to be cheap or save money. I couldn't tell, but they decimated the whole squad.
Right.
Yeah.
They was bigger than everybody when they had McGee and Howard.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's the last time we stopped Jokic.
Right.
Then he came and killed us 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Last 2 years.
I feel like we could have got at them last year, but especially after how they went out.
They did go out. I mean, because they looked unstoppable against us. That whole season, they looked crazy, but they look like a regular team now. They look like they're a contender, but they're not a sure shot. Like that year, 2022 was just them. Like you couldn't stop them. Mm-hmm. When he hit that fadeaway 3 on AD, I was like, yeah, this is their year.
Yeah. No, we ain't seen that Jamal Murray since.
Yeah. Facts.
It's
a wrap now.
Who are some of your DJ heroes?
I would say for heroes, it's probably most of our heroes. Probably Jazzy Jeff is one of the top.
Yeah,
a lot of folks who don't know DJing enough just assume he's just the dude who got thrown out the house on Fresh Prince. But everybody who really knows hip hop history and DJing knows Jeff is up there when it comes to the Transformer scratch that he created and just his whole technique and style. And he's still killing. Like if you see him live today, he's still just as sharp, if not better.
He created the Transformer?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so he's legendary with that. Kid Capri's still up there. Like Kid Capri and Jeff have a totally different style.
Yeah.
Capri, when it comes to this party rocking, like the whole fast song thing, like everybody does it now because Serato is easy to just press shift and left to change the song. But he was going 4 bars with vinyl back then, which is insane. Meaning that he would change the song within 4 bars. Like you play a song 1, then 2. Imagine 4 bars and he's changing the record between each one, queuing each one and dropping new songs and talking in between it.
Wow.
So he's going that fast back in the 90s, like without any laptop. So Kid Capri, when it comes to that's insane to do, and it just his whole technique of like talking in between the songs and just like quick mixing, skipping up to this part of the song, like going to the third verse of it. So I would say party wise, definitely Kid Capri is up there.
Okay.
I would say when it comes to just like modern club, like I would say the younger homie is a hero. DJ Luke's kid at FAMU, like he's one of the best when it comes to just his overall mic work and presence. Because Florida is already like to me the GOAT of just like between New York and Florida, but I actually prefer Florida style like MCing over New York style when it comes to clubs. It's different, it's way different, but Florida just has more personality, more humor into it. There's more like more of a connection. I feel like New York is. I mean, they created hip hop, they created the DJing technique period, but I would say at this point I prefer the Florida style, especially for the last 20 years.
Okay.
So that all came from, I would say, Jam Pony Express, but a lot of DJs in Florida just have that technique of talking where it's where they can talk to you for a minute and the crowd get more hyped to them talking than to music. It's just a whole different type of personality that they have to it.
That sounds dope. Have you ever spun in the DMV?
All the time, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always out there. So DMV definitely has a lot of dope DJs. I feel like they have a lot of the ones who are dope with the new style of like from the edits and blends to just like playing everything. Because the thing about DC is that go-go music is of course what DC is known for.
Yeah.
And with that, they didn't really have a lot of hip-hop artists until the last 10, 15 years. Really until Wale and you had the Fat Trails, those types, Shaq, Lizzy. But before Wale, you had a couple who were from DC, but it was more of a, because it didn't really have a super strong hip-hop scene, I feel like the DJs learned everybody's music, if that makes sense. I feel like when you come from a city from Atlanta, New York, L.A., Miami, you have your own local scene where that dominates. But a place like D.C. or even places like Kansas City, which is random, they have dope DJs because they learn everybody's music because people come from everywhere in D.C. too. People go there for Howard, people come for government, so they learn to cater to the West Coast, East Coast, the South equally.
What about like Baltimore?
Baltimore, I have a couple homies like Harvey Dent, who's from Baltimore, DJ B. Hen. I've never been to a club in Baltimore. I've stayed there before. I've done private events there, but I know like Hammerjacks was their main club that was known for playing B-More Club and all that. So I've never really been to a Baltimore club, but definitely been to I know a couple DJs were from there for sure.
Dope. What's the wildest like gig? What's the like craziest? I can't believe they asked me to do this.
As far as a gig period, I've done a couple. The craziest one I would say at the level of people that people are probably thinking about is probably Hedonism in Jamaica. Okay. In Jamaica is basically, they told me it's gonna be it's a nude optional resort, but that the pool party is like all nude. And they said
you had to be nude.
I didn't have to. They said the staff is not nude, and you don't have to be nude, but you can if you want to. So it's me and
you had the Marcus Houston suit on
with no drawers on.
Yeah,
all plastic. That would have been insane if I had that on. Because the other DJ there, he was actually butt naked, and he on the microphone walking around butt naked, and it's just like, it was just the craziest thing because it's like it was daytime, it's broad daylight, but there's no cell phones allowed, so it really turned into like full on orgies while I'm playing, and it's
dang,
and like even when it wasn't sex going on, it's like he got them outside the pool doing like the Cupid Shuffle, but they all naked, and it's just like, why y'all doing line dances naked? Like it was
that's crazy.
Yeah,
the Cupid Shuffle and people naked.
Yeah.
They say I'm a rapper, but I say no. No clothes on. That's crazy.
It made no sense. Yeah. That's probably still the craziest thing. It's like, and like I don't do no type of drugs, so I know some of them are definitely on Molly and ecstasy and all that. But so I was probably just too sober to even just be there. So I was just playing. I'm gonna play because I'm gonna play, but I'm just like, this is fascinating.
And it's called Hedonism.
So the resort is called Hedonism.
Okay.
And it's like I think they have a Hedonism and a Hedonism too. But it's like the people who really know what it is know that the stereotype is that it's always more so older white folks who are there. But the trip I did was called Worst Behavior Tour, and it was all black folks in like mainly their 30s, late 20s, 30s, early 40s.
Did you have to sign an NDA? I'm not getting you in trouble.
No, it was no NDA. It was just that you can't have a cell phone.
Okay.
There's no cell phone at the pool. But then the other parties that we did that weren't at the pool, those are regular parties, but it's still nude optional. So some girls might just be topless or something, but it wasn't like people were just naked at those. But
did you ever get in your body roll bag? Did you ever get in your silk? Your like.
I had a little slow jam moment. Yeah. We had a certain type of contest, and I just played all slow jams for that part. So
all right.
Yeah. So that was an experience.
Nah, that sounds nuts. Have you done any other like international stuff?
Yeah, I probably DJ, I think, in 12 countries now, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So
what's your favorite country outside of the US?
I would say Nigeria is definitely a vibe.
Okay.
Been out there a couple times. Nigeria definitely goes up. Paris is always a vibe. So France, I've been to Paris and I've been to like Monaco, Monte Carlo, but I would say Paris is definitely a vibe too. They love. Crazy enough, I got hired by Reebok out there to do a West Coast party.
Okay.
They play all like West Coast hip hop.
Wow.
Yeah, because they have places like France, Germany, and even not as much in London and England, but it's certain countries in Europe that love West Coast music. Even like Australia. There's just certain places like outside the U.S. that just love West Coast hip hop, mainly 90s, 2000s type stuff.
I wonder why that is.
I think because for one, like 90s West Coast was just so big, like worldwide, that a lot of them just ended up loving it back then, and they just stuck with it because, especially just the music behind it. I think that it was a musical factor to it too, that they just love that G-funk type of sound.
Yeah.
Because even like in London, they love like R&B, but R&B and soul, but they love it when it's more musical than just like straight up like hip hop influence, if it makes sense. So a lot of different countries just kind of have a certain type of sound that they kind of go to. But yeah, those countries just love that 90s, early 2000s West Coast. I remember when Jerkin came out, they hated Jerkin because to them Jerkin was just too basic, and they saw it as like Soulja Boy music to them.
Wow.
They still wanted to hear like Dove Shaq and hear Warren G and Spice One from the Bay. So
that's crazy. I would never think like, oh yeah, when I go in Australia, they gonna want like a certain kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying?
There's many the people who are like native and who are white, like the black folks in those places. I'm not sure if they like it as much, like in France and London. But when it comes to like the actual French folks, the white ones who are there, they love it. It's crazy.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder like how other stuff travels. Like I wonder how Atlanta music travels or how.
Yeah, it's probably generational too. Because I think it's the ones who are really there to grow up in those '90s to really hear what the West Coast had. But even if you go on like SoundCloud and YouTube, it's producers from New Zealand and Australia who are making like '90s West Coast G-funk. It's crazy.
Really?
Yeah. I found a couple of them who make dope stuff, and it's like they'll be like 25 years old making G-funk, and it's like, I wonder how they got into it. Was it their parents? Was it just them being on YouTube and finding it? I can't tell. I think, too, because LA 90s was just, the culture was just so dominant, because even beyond the music, just the fashion, the way that people looked, like the movies behind it. So I think it was just like a whole cultural like force that was all at the same time.
Right. What's your favorite era of music?
It's probably in that era, 90s. I think for soul and R&B, I would still say 70s, but the 80s is definitely slept on heavily too. Yeah. Like, it's kind of hard for me to compare. I think for just soul, for like the mid-tempo and slow jams, probably 70s. 90s too in a whole different way, but like 70s when it comes to the Earth, Wind & Fire type stuff and even the Leon Ware type music. But then for party R&B, I would say 80s. Yeah. 80s is probably the most underrated when it comes to party music. That's when you had Before I Let Go and Never Too Much and Candy and the New Jack Swing era, New Edition. I would say for hip-hop, definitely 90s, and I would say that mid-90s was probably the strongest because I think everybody was making like equal music. I feel like the South wasn't as dominant mainstream yet, but they still had everything from the Luke and the 69 Boys to Outkast, Goody Mob to the UGKs and the Scarface. Right. Then the Midwest was coming strong. They had the Bone Thugs and Harmony. They had those types of groups as well. And then, of course, the West and the East had it so strong. So I think just that mid-90s, like everybody sounded different. Even within each city, it wasn't like everybody sounded the same because even Outkast and Goody Mob didn't sound like Kilo Ali for Atlanta. At all. Everybody had their own sound. And Raheem the Dream and the whole like Freaknik, like bass music sounded different from what Outkast was doing. So everybody had their own signature type of style and sound back then.
Yeah, no, it's funny. I got friends like from back home that they don't even remember some of that like Raheem the Dream stuff, and it's like, man, I just remember like not knowing necessarily who made what, but certain songs like when they would play, it'd be like, man, I would only hear this at night on the radio or at the skating rink.
Skating rink music, for sure.
Yeah. No, and of course the 70s. Gotta love
had so much,
live instruments.
All live. I feel like that was, I think the 80s, people kind of looked down on the 80s because it was that synthy era, so you had a lot of kind of synth that.
And the beginning of the drum machines. And
early drum machines. It sounded so thin and just so synthy, like even the whole freestyle era of music just sounded so synthy, and it sounds dated now. A lot of it sounds dated, but a lot of it was still dope too when you hear what like a One Way or Roger and Zapp were doing in the early 80s.
Oh yeah, of course.
But that 70s.
Although I don't think that Charlie Wilson knew much about computers.
He probably didn't back then.
Shooby dooby dooby computer.
He had no idea what it was talking
about.
That's not
binary code.
That's binary. That's not zeros and ones at all.
Shooby dooby dooby computer. Yeah.
There was no FaceTime yet. It was He probably just seen a computer for his first time. He's probably still using the Abacus or something. Who knows? But
early internet, I wish sounded like that. I wish that's what dial-up sounded like.
Seriously,
you know what I'm saying?
On AOL, startup disc and all that. Yeah, it was different. Yeah, Roger just sounds so futuristic with it. Shoo-ba-doo-doo. Ad-libs killing. Baby. No, Charlie was fire on there.
They knew anything about computers.
They know nothing about it. I'm sure they didn't. The music video, it wasn't even real computers half the time. It was just somebody on the screen. But
they was predicting. Shoot, yeah. That's where we at now.
Everybody, that's all we use now. Our cell phone and laptop, that's all we on now.
That song about OnlyFans. I don't even know. That song about FaceTime.
The OG OnlyFans song. You're right about it.
There's a lot of people on OnlyFans paying for that shooby-dooby-dooby computer.
Out of pocket. Facts, though. That shit is facts.
Shout out to Uncle Charlie. Come by the show anytime.
For sure.
DJ R-Tistic, what if I did gigs with you?
Yeah.
Under the name DJ R-Tistic. That's raw right there. So then it's artistic and autistic.
I don't know how that would work. I don't even know about it.
You don't like that?
I don't know. The bad thing is that's always my diss name.
Oh, for real?
Especially on social media. Whenever I say something that people don't like, it's always, all right, DJ R-Tistic. Whenever I say something that they don't like, even in the crowd, sometimes people who can't hear correctly think that that's my name, and I'm just like, that's not what I said.
But see, that's why I'm going to counterbalance that. So then they send that to you, then you send a picture of my flyer. Actually, I know autistic. He's going to be, because it's going to be like A5Ws. You know what I'm saying?
All right, that might work then. All right.
Actually,
this
DJ R-Tistic right here. You know what I mean?
Hey, long as you throw it with it, I don't care. We can run it. Make it a duo real quick. Tag team it. Easy call.
Is that? Huh?
It's an easy call. Then let's run it.
Is there any type of music that you don't rock with?
It's plenty of music that I don't rock with. I think I don't even think about it enough to call it out. Like I would say like death metal. I would say like it's certain types of, I think, is it big room EDM? Some of that's okay. Some of it is just noise to me.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain subsets of EDM that I don't really care for. Like regular mainstream EDM, I don't like or dislike. It's just neutral to me. But I would say it's just certain types of rock that I've heard. I'm just like, I don't know what's happening. When it comes to certain new styles of this kind of a trap, it's certain new styles of rap that are kind of trap hybrid with rock hybrid with other, I don't even know what you call it, but like even like Yeet,
new metal.
Sometimes it feels like it could be some new metal. So even like Yeet, I don't really care for Yeet that much.
Okay.
Like Playboy Carti, some of his stuff is cool. Some of his stuff I just don't get. Some of his albums I've heard.
The reaction of the kids.
The kids love it.
Playing.
They love it.
And it's just like, I'm just like, I get how y'all got here. Like, I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's some like, I don't know. Cause I've seen black kids go up to System of a Down and certain stuff.
Yeah.
So I see like how y'all got here.
That makes
but
sense.
I also don't know how he got here from, in New York, I Billy Rock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
like,
another type of song. Yeah.
Right.
And even that song, like the hook was catchy, the beat was catchy.
Yeah.
The verse, I don't really care for the verse, but it's like,
it's
a lot of, like, when it comes to that style of new rap, it's like, I'm not a huge fan of it. Some of it, as you said, some of it I can understand.
Right.
Some of it is just all energy. So it's like, if you go to Rolling Loud and they perform, it's just the crowd's just jumping up and down, pushing to it. So it's like a hip-hop version of a mosh pit, which used to be what crunk music was in 04, 05.
Yes.
03, 02
I say
even.
that all the time. Like, crunk and moshing is very similar.
It is, definitely.
Yeah.
I would say 02, 03 even, because like by 05, it kind of evolved into more of the snap, leaning rock with it and that. But my first time going to Club Envy in Atlanta was like 02, and I was underage. I wasn't even 18, but I remember going there, and I remember when the crunch stuff came on, it was Ying Yang. Well, Ying Yang performed that night, but that was more the twerk music. But it was more so like it was before Bone Crusher came out, but it was definitely Lil Jon type music. It was some of that Pastor Troy, like the vice versa, and No More Playing GA, and they just be jumping up and down. Just pushing, jumping, throwing each other. And I was just looking like, it's really a mosh pit.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that like Memphis had a similar movement going
for sure.
on with
the club up, probably credit that whole crunk sound and that whole movement.
Hit a motherfucker, you know, like,
I bet you won't hit.
Yeah, all that.
They came from that,
and they was really like, you know, from what I hear in Memphis, they was really punching in the club. And like if you caught one, you caught one. Yeah. I feel like in Atlanta it was more like pushing.
More pushing, yeah.
But I do think a lot of parties would end early because the wrong person got pushed by the wrong person or into the wrong person. Yeah. Now they fighting for real.
That's what it was.
And I didn't like my club experience started with Snap. So I didn't, you know, I was at parties and stuff, you know, during Crunk, but I wasn't really, you know, out with strangers when that was going on. And I can only imagine the like go to the trunk culture was crazy at that time. You know what I'm saying?
It probably was. I remember at Club Envy, I remember my boy who came with me, like, he was just trolling. He ran in the crowd and just like punched somebody and then ran out the crowd just because he could. He just felt like, all right,
okay,
I can get away with it.
He put a whole Jamie Foxx. Yeah, I might need security.
Seriously,
yeah,
but nothing happened to him. But it's like I actually never did see an actual fight start at FAMU at least, but it was probably a mixture of college kids and locals. But even in Atlanta, I never saw a fight start from those crunk circles. But I could see how
really
it happened. I didn't. That's the crazy part. It was that's just what the culture was. There's a jump and push for like a whole hour. It was just all guys. The girls were just standing around the perimeter waiting for the Djing twins to come on.
That's so nuts.
Yeah,
because I was always like, when this is over, I can't wait till this is over.
Yeah, because
I don't want to get too sweaty.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. I don't want to get sweaty pushing dudes. Yeah, I want to. You know what I'm saying. I want to be fresh for when. Yeah, it's that time.
Yeah, I feel like because I always see on social media jokes about like how many fights started from Nuck If You Buck, but between FAMU and Atlanta, I never saw no fight start to that song. Any of those, it was just people
If You Buck was
jumping.
like
it was the fake fight. It was the
like the Crunk Swan song.
Yeah,
that was like
low key.
You know what I'm saying? But they went out. It's like Crunk went out with a bang. It was like
because that was 04. By 05, that Crunk sound was kind of out. It was Texas came and started dominating. You had the Snap movement. You had it was a little bit different by then.
Yeah.
Boozy and them started to come in 05, 06.
Have you ever had when you're DJing, do you ever have to manage like the fun? Like I do feel like some DJs I've noticed, I feel like they gotta throw a monkey wrench so people go to the bar. Like if people get too turned, they're not buying drinks.
People always say that. It depends on the crowd because I mean, a lot of times I just realized they can't stay high energy forever anyway. So once I see them kind of coming down, okay, I'm gonna just calm down anyway. But to me, it depends. Like some clubs, when the energy is high, period, people are just buying drinks because it's just like they're in the groove of it. So I don't really worry about, all right, if they too hyped, they ain't gonna buy drinks because they're gonna buy drinks anyway. Like it's always gonna be one song that people don't care for as much or that these people gonna go to the bar on. So I never really worry about like the bar itself. It's more so just about the energy just being so high that they might burn out too early because every age group is different. Like whenever you do a college crowd, they walking in at 10, 15 high energy because they're not even drinking no liquor. They just walk in off a Red Bull and just
hype to be there.
Yeah.
Just hype. That was me.
Yeah.
I would open the club up. I would
literally to get in free.
I would help you set up. I would bring your crates in. That's how hype I was to be. Yeah.
To get in free. But then like when you have a more of a 30 to 35-ish crowd, a 30 to 40 crowd, it's like they could be hyped for a minute, but they're going to burn out. They don't have as much energy. So it's like you got to wait for the peak a little bit longer. So that's why a lot of times you might hear people on social media say it shouldn't matter if a DJ plays certain songs before midnight and the midnight DJ should have enough music. It's not about that to me at all because if I'm going the whole 4 hours, I'm going to pace it to where I'm playing the hot stuff 12:30 because if you play everything too hype at 11:30, for one, everybody's not even there yet.
Right.
And if they are there, it's just like that's kind of the peak of their night. They want to hear those main songs. They hype as heck. Then by 12:30, it's like they already on R&B. So every crowd is different. Every party is different. There's some crowds that you can go hype at 11 o'clock and they'll stay there till 1:30. But some crowds, they just want that good, strong 30 minutes of high energy. Then it's like, all right, we're going to kind of chill from there.
Like, how do you feel about going after other DJs? Are you listening to the sets before you, you know, like, are there certain songs that are like off limits? Everybody knows autistic play this. Don't even think about playing California Love. You know when autistic comes.
It wouldn't be that if anything, but it's like overall, I mean, it's not specific songs. It's just that people should. It gets tricky because, like, for me, I don't really care a whole lot. Every party is different too because we do day parties now where it's 6 different DJs, and if I'm the very last DJ, it's like I don't expect you to save all the hot songs for me because it's like people get there at 4 and 5 p.m. and if I'm not on until 9, they shouldn't have to wait till 9 to hear like the top 3 or 4 songs. But at the same time, like if it's a 4-hour party, I'm going on at midnight. It is etiquette that people should know that you shouldn't play the absolute biggest songs too early. So like, of course, this summer is all about Not Like Us. So
yeah,
it's some DJs who will want to play that 11:45, and it's just like it just kind of burns out the energy if you play it too early. It's like if you play it too early, this part of the crowd is not there, and then when it is 12:30, if I play it again, the crowd that was here is like, we already heard that. They're not as hype. So it's just like certain songs you should just know better to save. But for me specifically, it's not like, I mean, people do know it's certain songs that I usually will play for a certain crowd, but it's like I'm not really going to care if somebody else plays it. It's just more so, I have had DJs who told me that, like, especially if they're not from LA, they'll tell me, I'm going to save the LA stuff for you because you know how to play it. So it's like they know that they could play these songs, but it won't hit the same if they don't play it with the right transitions and the right, like, they might know these 10 LA songs, but these two are the super hits.
They don't know
these two are mid-level.
Like, cut out, let
exactly.
Like
it's even like sing and, I remember when Kick and Pre-Play Ain't No Fun one time, and he cut it before Nate Dogg verse, and it's just like, you in Inglewood, why are you cutting it before? I mean before Corrupt verse.
Right.
Nate Dogg is first, then it's Corrupt, but he cut it before Corrupt, and it's like certain songs you just gotta know to play this one specific part. So so it's more so about that. But I don't really care too much if people play like. Even if it's the biggest song in the world, I have enough music to play after whoever it is. I don't care. It's just more so about you should know that the crowd's not going to be at a certain peak if it's too early.
Right. During the beef, you being an LA guy, did you play any Drake?
I was still playing, and I still do here and there, but it's funny. It's like it just don't hit the same overall. His new stuff don't hit at all. The new stuff he's made this year just does not work. Like Family Matters, I never ever played that in the club ever.
No push-ups?
Push-ups, nah, none of those. Not even. And to me, it's not even because of the beef. They just didn't hit as club songs to me.
Yeah.
They didn't hit at all, but it's like, I remember the only time I didn't play Drake on purpose was when I had jokingly the Kendrick Lamar victory party, because Not Like Us dropped on like May 4th, and that May 6th at the Dime was that Monday.
Yes.
So I had like the flyer was Kendrick. And that night I played hella Kendrick. I ain't playing any Drake on purpose. I would purposely like play Rihanna Work and cut it right before Drake verse started just to be petty.
That's hilarious.
So that night was just on some, okay, we won the whole battle. That's like our championship. But after that, it's like, I don't care that much. But some crowds just don't really care as much. Like, I remember I did a event at LA Live at Grammy Museum right during the beef. And I played, whatever I played from Drake, it might have been like for free. They were like jokingly booing me. It wasn't like they were booing for real. It was just kind of like, boo, turn this Drake, But they didn't really care, but they knew me anyway. So it's where I'm going to still play some of his stuff, but it just don't really get the same reaction a lot of times.
Man, that's crazy. Because as I travel, it's interesting. Yeah. Like, I was out in Denver, and they were playing push-ups. Really? And I was like,
really?
What is happening? Like, I went to the
crowd
bathroom.
Hyped to it,
like,
though?
No, I don't think anyone noticed. But it wasn't like... But it was kind of just like, they playing push-up, like, they play, if you hit a split, your pants might rip right now in the club. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
It just don't hit, because compared to, like, back-to-back, like, back-to-back, we played that at the club, every night when it came out.
Not again. Yeah.
Yeah, but, like, it's crazy, because, like, the only one I play often is really, what's it called? Rich Baby Daddy, but that's Sexy Red. Right. She makes that song. The hook is her. Yeah.
Well, Rich Baby Daddy is a 2023 trying to make a 1996 bounce record. Yeah. I mean, it's got all the ingredients there.
It's nothing but like a modern day My Boo. Same type of chord changes and all that. So yeah,
which I do like. I do like that as a concept, and wouldn't be mad if somebody did a whole project in the Rich Baby Daddy vein. Yeah.
Every year, the last few years, we get one of those. We had like Twerk Later was somewhat of that sound. It's more 80s because it was what's it called? The Bombada. The not Tommy. What's it called? You know what I'm talking about? Twerk Later was sampling. Planet Rock. Planet Rock. So that was more 80s, but that 80s sound is what turned into bounce music anyway. Right. And not bounce, but into bass music, I should say. So
yeah, well, part of it is electronic dance music fused with, what's going on in hip hop, and then
it turned into bass and booty music. So
booty shaking ethos. Yeah.
You got like the Lathan Freaky sample on Good Love, the Usher and City Girls. So like every year you get a song that has that energy and that type of like tempo to it. I feel like
right. No,
so it always does work. Yeah. Yeah, Usher and City Girls just took that and flipped it, but FAMU, like that song was a classic right there. Yeah.
Well, DJ R-Tistic, thanks so much for coming by the Inconsistent Podcast with Rob Haze. Anything you want to promote? Anything you want to tell the people?
I would say just follow me on social media. I'm at DJ R-Tistic. That's on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. As far as if you're in LA, I have my birthday party coming up December 7th. So we're doing that. I'm going crazy with it. So aside from that, just follow me on social media. I know I'll be in ATL in about 2 weeks. So I'll probably have something popping out there. And then, I always post everything on social media. So that's the main thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
DJ R-Tistic, thanks for coming through the Inconsistent Podcast with Rob Haze. If you're in Washington, Seattle, holla at your boy, Laughs Comedy Club. I'll be out there.
Let's get it.
It's cheaper to buy your ticket in advance online than at the door.
Don't be asking for no list either.
Come on.
Buy some tickets.
Buy tickets.
Show love. All day.
Hell yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that was fun.
Next week or something like that?
Yeah.